What's your background, Paul?
Born in Miami, Cuban parents, Cuban
Mm.
American, but Miami's a melting pot, but
Well, but so
I
you're Cuban. Do you identify with race? Are you a white Cuban? Are you a black Cuban? Or you just identify as Cuban?
I'm a white Cuban. Identify being Cuban American, a lot of Cuban Americans coming from. I was born here. I wasn't born in Cuba. I was born in the States. Coming from Cuba, lean towards right leaning ideology in terms of conservatism because they're very much against or they're scared of socialism leading to communism.
Are you afraid of that?
Yeah, I am. I would say, unfortunately, we don't have just like you have the Green Party. I mean, I'm more.
No, are you afraid
Throughout
of
the
that
years,
happening here?
I'm more afraid of government expansion than I am of Trump's potential fascist takeover, which is a
So
possibility.
government
I'm not taking
expansion.
that
So you
away.
must be mortified. You must be mortified at the way they're doing government expansion when it comes to women having privacy in their doctor's office, right? That must really piss you off, right?
Well, that's going back to the states. I mean, it's going from a federal. But
No,
either
no,
which way,
no, no, no. But they're calling for a federal abortion ban as well. But even if it was on a state level, you wouldn't want your state government or your local government in a woman's uterus. So government expansion, I would assume that would shake you up, Paul, right?
yeah. Listen, I'm not going to die on that hill. I mean, I'm not against abortion. I mean, the only thing I'm against is late term abortions. Maybe going, but past that, I'm not against
So
abortion.
I'm curious because you're in Miami. Are you voting for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
And honestly, I don't think I'm going to vote. To
Why
be
aren't you
honest
going
with
to
you,
vote, Paul?
because I don't. I think she's leaning. I like what she said in the debate, and I think she owned them. But I think her past policy, I think she's flip flopped. I don't think. I think she's more of the progressive that she's painting herself out to be. Now she wants to paint herself out to be more middle of the road, and
And
I don't
Paul,
think
Paul,
she's
I'm
middle
just
of the road.
curious. What's wrong with progressing? I mean, what's wrong with that? Or is there a certain era that you want to conserve? What's wrong with progressing?
But progressing in what sense? Like
Well,
for instance,
okay,
getting rid
good,
of
good.
I mean,
Go ahead.
like getting rid of the electoral college. Is that progress or is that?
No,
Well,
that's
that
progress.
Paul,
I mean, that,
Paul, wait, hold on a second, Alan. Paul, Kamala Harris has not said she wants to get rid of the electoral college, and guess what? That's not going to happen. So that isn't the best example. But progress. Hey, let's talk about progress. The idea of giving access to capital for somebody who wants to open a small business. Nowadays, you can't open a small business with like $5,000. You need a lot more. Increasing the minimum wage. I mean, that's insane that we have a $7.25 minimum wage, and Republicans keep on, they keep on blocking that. Making sure that we're not going to lose health care. I don't know what kind of lifestyle you grew up in, Paul, if you grew up pretty wealthy or not, but having access to health care is really important. And there are some people who need the Affordable Care Act. That's what I think of when I think of progress, not taking rights away, not retracting rights, right? The idea of retracting, that's part of the problem. The idea that we should have the freedom to live your life, be who you want to be, and not have the government in your business, whether it's your marriage, whether whether it is your right to privacy in your doctor's office. And another thing of progress, Paul, is that maybe you don't care about this, but we don't want to have another stone cold racist in office. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to go back to the Woodrow Wilson days. That's what I think of progress. But go ahead, Paul.
I mean, I guess we're gonna isn't it? Everything you said in terms of the money for first time home buyers, for startups, for business. That's all a good thing. I'm not against any of that. But I'm saying, but I am, and I don't know. Trump. I don't think he's a fiscal conservative. So I mean, that's why
You don't think he's what?
I don't agree. I don't agree in growing growing government so big where you have to feed the beast and it's
But
you
Paul,
can't
how
you
old are
can't
you,
roll
Paul? Paul,
45.
Paul. Democrats are not trying to. it's really switched, man. Like Democrats are not trying to expand the government so much where I mean, that's just not what's happening. They're trying to make sure you know what policy I like, Paul? The mind your damn business policy. That I don't want somebody else in my damn life. You live your life, you do what you do. I don't want someone's in my life. So as a 45-year-old Cuban man, and considering that Trump said he wanted to be dictator for a day, considering the minions around him, you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't about making this government bigger and taking over. This is about not having a man who cares more about himself than he does about the country. Do you think at the end of the day that Donald Trump cares about this country, or he cares about himself?
No, Donald Trump cares about himself. He cares about money and himself.
Well, Paul, why the hell why the hell would you not vote for Kamala Harris then?
They all care about money and power. They're all both parties. What they want is power. They don't care about.
But Kamala Harris has a record. She's prosecuted illegal immigrants. She has prosecuted people who join in sex trafficking. She's advocated for an increase of the minimum wage. I mean, she has actual policies, though. She, like I just brought it up to you. The first time home buyers, they don't even. Trump said he has concepts of a plan. You called into this show for some reason. You got on this show. I need you as a 45-year-old man in Miami. I need you to just keep on listening and expand a little bit. But there is a distinct difference between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. And the thing is, Paul, if you believe in you don't want government expansion, right? If you believe that people should have access to capital to get a home or have their own business, you and I can disagree socially on some things. That's cool. But if you believe in you said the Electoral College, that means you believe in democracy. You know what I'm saying, Paul? The other dude doesn't even believe in that. So let us come together on our differences and say, hey, we feel things that are different, but there's one person that believes in the very foundation of this country, and there's one person that does not. Like, I believe in you, Paul. You sound a little bit logical. But final comment, brother. Final comment.
No, I appreciate the feedback. I mean, listen, I have to come around. You know, born and raised, 45 years old. You know, I mean, my grandfather. I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, he loved Ronald Reagan, coming from Cuba. I mean, listen, we can go on and on. I mean, I'll call you back another day. But
you know, Paul, Trump, Reagan would despise Trump, and I'm no Reagan fan. Like, let's not get caught up in the D or the R.
That's right. And 12 of Reagan's staff supported Kamala Harris today. They came out.
12 of Reagan's own staff members are supporting Kamala Harris, Paul. Let's say you believe in that version of Republicanism. They don't even support him. Reagan's own staff members are not supporting him. So let's not get caught up in the D or the R, brother. But I got to go. One more final comment, and then we got to go. I'm sorry.
You made a good point. Listen, it's not. He's a populist. He's a nationalist. I mean, I guess call him what you want. Call him a fascist. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. On that end. I'm not going to defend him because I don't like him personally. So.
Yeah, and think about, you know, just watch an interview with Kamala Harris, man. Like, she believes in your right to exist and your right to feel differently. You know, Paul, one of the things that Trump wants to do with Project 2025, I know he's denying it, but he also claims he's 6'3", 215 pounds. He wants to make it illegal to criticize him. So you and I couldn't even be on, because you've criticized him on these airwaves. You and I couldn't even be in media publicly criticizing the president. Now that is communism. That is dangerous, where we couldn't even have this dialogue.